I was walking my dog this morning when I saw a car pull into the driveway a few doors down, and out poured three young adults. And I thought, oh, they're here to visit with their grandmother for the holidays, for Thanksgiving. How nice. It immediately put me in a sad mood. I have no children or grandchildren. No one comes to my house for the holidays. I'll eat my turkey at the community center with neighbors who moved in recently. Their plans fell through. I had to ask 4 people before I found them. I didn't want to eat alone, just my husband and I, on Thanksgiving holiday. For the past 2 years, we've gone away with a group. We've traveled to a beautiful resort, but I was unable to do that this year because I couldn't find a dog sitter. That's right, who was willing to sit over the holidays. The path of my life has made it impossible for me to have children, but that's a story for another time. Fortunately, children were never on the top of my to-do list. I was single till I was 45, busy with life, career, travel, and hobbies. I seldom thought about children. In my 40s, 50s, and 60s, I gathered together nieces, nephews, stepchildren, friends, whoever, to my house for a big Thanksgiving celebration. I learned how to roast a turkey and I made a great dinner. But now in my 70s, they've all moved in different directions, and I've moved to a new city where I don't have family nearby. I live in a continuing care retirement community. There'll be a wonderful festive Thanksgiving dinner offered to us in the bistro, which is our buffet and dining room. It will be a lovely spread. In fact, we had to make reservations because there'll be so many people eating there, and many of them will bring their families to our community for the dinner. Great. No cooking for grandma, no cleanup. Eating in the bistro is a great alternative to eating alone or eating in a restaurant, but it's not the same as eating with family. I will once again try to quiet the envy inside of me as I watch the happy families at the large tables all together for Thanksgiving. So, back to the title of this video. 15 to 20% of Americans have no children by the end of their reproductive years, although this percentage is higher for younger people. Are you one of them? One of the 15 to 20% that don't have children? Do you regret it now that you're in the later part of your life? Was it a conscious decision or something you had no control of? How do you feel now? Regrets or no regrets? When I was a little girl, my girlfriend and I kept scrapbooks of brides and babies. That was the name of the scrapbook. It was a normal expectation for little girls in the 1950s to want to be a bride and then have babies. But somewhere along the line, I put being a bride and having babies out of my mind. It was around the 5th grade when I first started reading a series of books about a nurse called Sue Barton. She was to change my life. I knew that was what I wanted to be. I wanted to have a glamorous, adventuresome life, just like Sue Barton. Even though she eventually married and had children, she had so many exciting things happen to her in her series of books that I knew I had to be just like her. And so I did. I became a nurse. First as an emergency department nurse, and later on as an educator and administrator. I loved it. As the years flew by, I never thought about children. I never thought about the ticking clock. But I did want a companion in my life, and that didn't happen until I was 43 years old, when I met the man who became my first husband. I was 45 when I finally got married. My husband had grown children, and he wasn't really excited about having a baby. I thought about it, we talked about it, but I didn't push it because, as I said, I really didn't have strong maternal feelings, so I could go either way. I never thought about what it would be like to be old with no children. It never occurred to me. I guess some people have children because they want to be assured that there'll be someone there to take care of them when they're elderly, but that never occurred to me. It should have, but it didn't. So here I am, age 77, with no children or grandchildren over the holidays. Do I regret not having children? Not really. But if I could have had children that came out automatically adults so I didn't have to go through the process of raising them, I would love that. Unfortunately, that can't be. I have no regrets. It was not meant to be. It was not my life's path. But that doesn't mean I don't feel a little bit lonely on the holidays when I see other people with their family around them. Now let's do a reversal and let me ask you, those of you who do have children, do you ever regret having children? I can't imagine anyone admitting that, but I also know that children can be extremely difficult, that many parents and children are estranged, and so they're not there for their parents in their old age either. If you have children, would you do it over again? Are you grateful that they're there for you in your old age? Or are they not there for you in your old age? Now that I've spilled my guts on this topic, I would love it if you would share yours in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and happy Thanksgiving to all. I truly am grateful for my life, for my health, for my family, for my friends.